Hey MODEXUS, this is Alan coming to you from my beautiful office in Vancouver. Today I want to talk to you about expiry dates and how does a product actually get an expiry date and why are most expiry dates just 2 years? There's several things that have to happen and there's a conference that goes on about this, of course. So the Health Canada and the FDA have agreed that nutritional product ingredients will fall under what's called the GRAS rules, G-R-A-S, generally regarded as safe. And how they come to the GRAS rules is a very interesting process. So this used to be done on rodents, but now it's done mostly in labs with high-tech equipment, where they will take an individual ingredient, they'll subject it to many different factors that we would call environmental factors. So heat, light, cold, water, dryness, etc., that you would experience in your own home and see how those things affect the degradation of that product and does it degrade into something that is actually harmful. So that's one test. So every individual ingredient goes through that test. There's about 15,000 different ingredients that have gone through these tests, and that's how they came up with the GRAS system, or the generally regarded as safe, because all those ingredients have shown that a 2-year expiry date is optimum for those products. Food is different, by the way. I would talk about, maybe I'll talk about food in another one. Food is completely different. So then they do safety testing on the ingredients. And safety testing to me is actually more important. So you think of having a bottle in your house, it's sitting in the cupboard, and a very inquisitive child gets a hold of that product and for some reason swallows half the capsules or maybe all of the capsules. So like a Stericol bottle and somebody takes 30 capsules. Is that going to do them any harm? So how they come about the safety of each individual ingredient is entirely different. So they take these ingredients and they literally look for a point where they would become toxic. Now this is also part, in California you have Proposition 65, which is a test for cancer, and are they an individual ingredient even remotely causing cancer. They'll take this individual ingredient and they will use thousands of times the dosage that you would get in a product. So say, I'm just going to say vitamin C, for instance. So they'll take vitamin C. The average dose of vitamin C is about 1,000 milligrams. So then they'll take like 50,000 milligrams for a period of time, and they'll put it through a test and see if that actually has any indication that it's going to cause cancer, which of course it doesn't. But each individual ingredient is just given these monster safety tests where they're given and one of the classic examples is the artificial sweeteners, where aspartame, when you hear about aspartame being terrible for you, the study that showed that they took 10,000 times the dose that you would get drinking a diet beverage every day. They took 10,000 times the dose of that, and then they said, there's some indication that this may cause some harm. So safety and the expiry date are two sort of separate computations that come together, and they get an average of this GRAS number. And then this GRAS number is applied to a product. So can you take your product? I'm going to leave it up to you to decide, but the safety profile of every ingredient is very, very large. The expiry date is an arbitrary number that has come up through the GRAS system that says 2 years. Sometimes it's 3 if people do really, really extra things and will get a 3-year expiry date. So can you take it? Well, I'll just give you my personal opinion. If it's somewhere within the year after the expiry date, I will take it. I know that it's safe. If it isn't, if you don't feel comfortable with your product, there's 2 things you can do. One is you can feed it to your plants, or you can put it in a compost pile. Don't flush it down the toilet, please. You can use that product for something else. So often use it for fertilizer on your plants if you're afraid of it, or alternatively put it in a compost pile. Okay, so expiry dates, they're arbitrary, but Some people are really sticklers about them. Some people are a little less worried about them because of these safety trials. So hopefully that is helpful for you.